Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. My name is Joshua Waitman, and I'm very unsure how this video or how this message will even come through. Many times recently, when I've brought through videos and messages, it has come from the seraphim, both my highest self and the energies of the seraphim from the other side. Also, the collective, which is basically a group of non physical beings here to assist humanity in their ascension and awakening process. However, tonight I'm speaking you as Joshua Waitman, the third dimensional being. I've asked some people to connect here with me tonight that are able to connect with angels and masters on the other side, because many people are receiving the divine messages that are shared through me. However, the softer energies are received, and the stronger energies of Archangel Uriel and others are, because they bring up so much fear. It is the results are people are either saying that do not listen to Joshua, or he is just asking for money, he's asking for followers, different things. So I'm going to take for a moment myself out of the equation, and I'm going to ask other people if they're open to delivering a message from the angels, masters, loved ones on the other side, using their skills as a medium or a psychic, to please share whatever messages are coming through. Before we begin, though, it is important to ask each and every individual, are you willing to stand fully in your light, even when it comes with great resistance? And are you willing to speak your truth and announce who you are to the world in whatever way you are guided to? Jess Steinman.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Amanda Limbert.
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you now.
Okay. Yes, I am.
Okay. Monica Iglesias.
Yes.
What's your last name?
Lewis.
Melissa Lewis.
Absolutely.
And we have another on the whatever you call this hangout. Her name is Liz, and because her mic is not quite set up yet, or her webcam, I'm going to ask Melissa if she's willing to just share whenever Liz types something. So Liz, are you fully open to this as well? Oh, it may come through a different way. Uh-oh. How do I even find the messages? Oh, here we go, here we go. So, one more time, Liz, are you open to joining us? Okay, for a moment, we'll wait for her reply. Tracy Taylor, just in case you missed something, are you open to spreading your truth, to standing your brightest light in this world, even if it meets great resistance and great, we call struggles, but obstacles?
Yeah.
Okay. And whether Liz decides to announce it or not, that's okay. So what I'm asking is now, again, I feel, and I'm sharing this with you all, that I am an equal to each and every one of you. There is nothing that is more or less important about me or you or anybody else. I feel that we all have a role to play the same way that Jesus did. The main difference is with Jesus, first of all, it was softer energies most of the time. And second of all, he was standing in his greatest light. He was allowing the most amount of light to move through him to assist his world. And he was willing to move through whatever cost it was to bring through the messages. Because he played his divine role, it assisted to where we are today. So please understand that this is no comparison, that this is no judgment. But I'm going to step away and I'm going to ask other people. Is there anybody who wants to deliver a message using their psychic or medium skills from the angels, the masters, a loved one, anything else? either about who I am, what I'm here to do, or in any way to validate anything about what I share with people.
Okay, I will share. Um, it's not so much that this is a channeled message, but simply to say that for all who may or may not know fully who Joshua is, that since he has come into my life, we connected actually about 4 years ago, but only met in person about 2. And since he has come into my life, there have been such tremendous changes, shifts, um, eye-opening experiences, so much so that there is no going back, so to speak. Um, and I thought I was open before, and I really only was touching the tip of the iceberg beforehand. That it's not only about the energy that moves through Joshua, though that is certainly tremendous, but the light that he brings and the love that he has for humanity, so much so that he is willing to sacrifice repeatedly, physically, emotionally, energetically, otherwise. It is unlike probably any other person I have met or anyone else that I know. It is just tremendous. He lives his life in service, in full service to the Creator. And yes, many people live their lives in service, but it is, again, it goes beyond words what Joshua offers. And I'm somebody, I consider myself very, I'll say, selective. Perhaps not cautious, but selective about who I, shall we say, choose to share testimonials for, and so on. And I can honestly say that Joshua's presence in my life alone, never mind all of the beautiful healing experiences that he's walked me through and different exercises for reaching my greatest potential and all, just the light and the presence in my life alone has been enough to be powerfully transformative. So that's all I wish to share for now.
Thank you.
I'd like to speak next. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. And I felt like just wanted to say something first. But I met Joshua actually by phone. That's my first time that I ever encountered Joshua. And just to remind those who are watching this, my name is Amanda Limbert, and I am a psychic medium. I'm an intuitive healer, and what would be called an incarnated archangel. This is an awareness I came to in the last year. However, my first encounter with Joshua was over a year ago, and in my time becoming an intuitive healer and understanding energy and walking more intently on my spiritual path, I've encountered a lot of healing modalities and ways that energy move through people and in and around things. I have been on a spiritual path my whole life, but I have in the last 10 years taken dramatic turns to really understand how energy works and how it can heal and how it moves through things around us and within us. I'm also, as far as my intuitive abilities are concerned, I'm a very visual person. And I also pick up on feelings and get information. And when I first encountered Joshua, it was through a healing service he provided me. And up until that point, and not since then, have I encountered anyone who provides the kind of intense and all-encompassing healing that he provides someone. In fact, after I only spoke with Joshua on the phone, I spent an entire day in bed, not in pain or anything, but really, truly, my body was going through a dramatic shift. I met Joshua physically last year around this time, and I had the privilege and honor of hosting him for a period of 10 months. And in that time, I basically restructured my life in many ways. And I feel that I was ready for this change, but there was nobody other than Joshua who could have prompted the kind of healing and transformation that I went through during that time. And I would say that anyone who interacts, and in the 10 months that I had the honor of experiencing his energy and getting to know him and understanding how he interacts with others, I not only saw with my spiritual vision who he was as a seraphim, and if you asked him, there would be times I would just stare at his shoulders in awe of these wings that he had and the energy that I was able to discern in and around him, and his interactions with others. And to me, for someone who is visually sensitive, it was, I commonly refer to it as like going to Disneyland, because so much would occur around him. And I got to see firsthand how he changed and really assisted others in a very deep, intense, and profound way. I have known Joshua to be, in all of his choices, his decisions, in how he presents himself to others, always to come from a loving space. His energies are very intense. And on the other hand, they are always meant with love. And love can take many forms. And I was unaware that someone in a human body could bring through so much concentrated, powerful, transformative energy into this world. I am still in awe of him. And at times, there is no explanation for some of the experiences that I've had that were so transformative and life-altering. I would say to anyone who's viewing this, he is always coming from a place of love. He is always coming from a place of healing. And he is one of the most unselfish people that I have ever met. And I will always be honored to know him, to know of him, and know on a distinct level that he's here to create a lot of change in this world. And sometimes change doesn't always seem welcome, but it's very important. And this is a time of a lot of change. And I think it's important that others realize that there is a lot of value in that change. And it just happens to come in the form of this individual. So for me, I did not feel guided to bring any non-physical beings. I do channel information and beings. But it's important to come from a place that I can say I am fully conscious, I am fully aware, I'm very clear. And my experience changed my life in a tremendous positive way. And I know and I have seen up front how he has done this for so many others. So, Joshua, thank you for all the beautiful blessings that you've brought to my life. And I hope that assists others in understanding more of what you bring.
Does anybody else feel guided to share or bring through a message?
I don't personally channel angels, but I have been working very closely with Joshua, and I can bear testimony of just the intensity and the gentleness that flows through him. It's kind of difficult to explain how gentle he can be and how intense he can be at the same time. But it's wonderful, and when you're ready for it, and as you're ready for it, I mean, it's intense just to assist you in bringing up those things that are ready to be healed. And the gentleness is there to just make it more comfortable for you as you're moving through all of what you're moving through. And so for me and my son, we've hosted him while he's been in the area here. And anyways, it was an honor having him here, and our lives are shifting immensely right now because of Joshua and the light that he has shared for us. So thank you.
I was hesitant to be on camera, but here we are. I would like to share a little bit of my story. About a year ago, a little more than a year ago, I was drawn to, um, I just say divinely guided, to reach out to Joshua. He was having an event in another city, and I was interested to go, but at the same time, I knew a lot of people in my area that I felt would love to meet him. So I reached out to him to ask if he would come to our area, and um, luckily, it was yes, and he felt guided and open to do that. And we've had several events where we've had up to 40 people here and receiving these energies, I host what's called a meetup group. It's called Earth Angels, and many of the people have experienced transformational things in their lives because of Joshua and what he brings to this world. Um, Me personally, I've had the opportunity to host him on 3 different occasions. We actually brought him back after a year because we were so thrilled with what happened in our own home. Having him in our space, I am married with 4 children, and we have extras living here as well, and we have it has been a challenge as a mother, but at the same time, to create. Okay, what I focus on creating in my environment, in my space, is one of love, unconditional love, peace, joy. I teach my children that they are powerful creators, and I did this before Joshua ever entered into our space. And so when he came to our space, and he validated what I had created here on an energetic level, even though I was not consciously aware of it. But even just being outside the door, he's like, "Wow, you have created something beautiful here." And I was seeking that whole year prior to meeting him, I was seeking how I could be my highest contribution in the world. And on so many levels, I was seeking what that would be. What were my individual gifts, talents, and abilities? And I have no doubt that that's what led me to Joshua, because I just meeting him and knowing him, I was so ready. I was so ready for change, for how I could be my highest contribution. And he has guided and led me to just drawn that out of me, and inspired me to take the basic steps to telling my story, so to speak. And I have since started writing children's books, and have published my first one, "You Are a Powerful Creator, My Little One." And I don't know, I think I still would have been in the space of who am I? I'm still, insignificant or whatever, that I wouldn't have had the guts or the confidence to be able to do that. And much like Amanda, we have experienced, every one of us in our household has experienced tremendous change and healing and shifts in our lives because of not, I mean, he has amazing coaching abilities and mentoring abilities, but just his mere presence has created a huge shift in our lives. And I am truly grateful for Joshua's his existence, what he brings, what he allows himself to bring through, and I see the sacrifice that it is for him. He does it willingly, and he does it with love. But I see the challenges that he goes through, and I see the physical pain that he goes through, but he does it willingly. And I would like to share that my son, he's been experiencing pneumonia, and Joshua would stay up with him every night, being in his space, and sleeping in the same room, just to be with him and have those energies surrounding him and healing him. And it's amazing that sacrifice where he will stay up all through the night to do that. And I know that he's done it on many, many occasions. And so, not sure how to wrap this up, but I'm truly grateful for him and his presence in our lives. This is my husband, Frank.
Hi, I'm Frank. Would you invite me to
Yes.
sit there?
He's just joining us, but
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me and my background. I'm Peruvian. I moved to the States in '97. I'm an electronic engineer, and electronic engineers analyze a lot. Engineers in general analyze a lot. Everything is in the mind, uh, because that's our resource, analyzing every single detail in life. That is my experience. Also, my background, Latin America, or where I grew up, um, also is spiritual. So I've been like a half half, and that was a cool, good time when I got to um, meet Joshua. The first time I was judging a lot because I was comparing all the information that I have here with what was going on. It was a little bit tough for me to welcome him in my life spiritually. And as time was coming on and got to know him, um, I felt good, you know. That's the main thing. Sometimes the head says one thing and your heart or your soul tells another thing. But when you go, this is me. But when you put together, you create beautiful experiences, happiness, and it's been it is been a good experience. It will be a good experience when having Joshua around my house. Sometimes he was mentioning he's going to go and visit somewhere else. I mean, in another state, and it's a little hard after knowing him. I feel like a brother, and saying kind of belong to a brother. I'm very attached to family, um, but the main thing, he is operating from his heart, and it is such a blessing having here on earth people like him trying to create happiness in his life, and he has his mission. I honor whatever he's doing because I feel it. He brings good energy. We um, have to pass through some barriers that we have in our lives, and he helped us or helped me to recognize some of them and say thank you for what happened in my experience, then move on and keep growing because life here is to learn, and to learn from everything. And all the experience that I had, I'm so grateful that I had all those experiences. So I feel excited to have all challenges. It is to, earth is to learn and grow. And thank you, Joshua. Thank you, my friend, my brother. That's all what I wanted to share. Thank you. Oh, Monica wants to add something else too.
Well, something that I feel is important for people to know, um, being in Joshua's space, it brings stuff up. It brings up old patterns. At least it has for me. But I knew before he came into my space that I was a powerful creator and that I had something to do with everything that happened to me in my life. And therefore, I did not blame him for the stuff that came up. And I think that was the difference between people who I feel that their stuff has come up and then they look at Joshua and blame him for their stuff, or for what they are experiencing, because it can be challenging. And when people mentioned intense, it can be very intense. But I knew that this was my stuff. And so I welcomed it. And I welcomed the process, the healing process that I got to go through in order to experience my deepest love and my deepest joy. And I feel that that is so important to know in interacting and hosting Joshua, is that very, very key. So, yes, I'll turn it to the next person. Thank you, Joshua.
Look, I can be an angel.
Oh, you are.
I'm Melissa, and I met Joshua a few months ago in person. And what an amazing opportunity it was for me to meet him. It kind of lit a fire underneath myself as far as what my desires and what my passions were in life. And then when he came back just recently, I've had a chance to um, go to a couple more things that he was offering, the classes and stuff, and we've had a chance to go and be in nature and appreciate the little things. And it has made me realize and redefine my life's purpose on what I'm put here to do, and that is to shine my light and be the brightest star that I can be. And I thank Joshua for putting me in that space and helping me accelerate to where I want to be in life. And he was the man that just unconditionally, lovingly pushed me. And I'm willing to accept whatever comes, and I'm just excited to start this journey. And I really appreciate Joshua for who he is. So thank
Well, before I speak, Gretchen, do you feel that there's something that you would like to share? Whether it is any experience with me or if you have messages from someone on the other side? Or are you here to just hold space? And if your mic is off or something, you could also text. Okay. There's somebody typing. Okay. We'll see if there's a text message that comes through. So,
Joshua, is there? If Gretchen doesn't come through, I have some more I'd like to add, if that's possible.
please, while she's typing, if that's what I'm hearing.
Okay. Just to piggyback on something that Monica mentioned, a lot of us are talking about personal experiences and the impact that you've had on someone's personal life. I can say from my own experience that what makes Joshua so incredible is that he's not only assisting people one-on-one, is what a lot of people don't understand is the way he's showing up in this world is that he has literally given up his body to be a vessel for light to pass through his body into the world around him. And it is not just, as some people might understand energy, like in healing modalities like Reiki or other different kinds of energy work. His energy that he has given his life up for to bring through affects not just one or two people, but it can and does affect a large amount of people, everybody on the planet. And that may be difficult for some people to understand, but I am someone who has witnessed it, and as Monica has said, she sees the physical toll that the energy that he brings through, how it affects his body. And I hope, and I know this is one of Joshua's intentions, is to someday find a way to find a way to measure the amount of energy that comes through him, to somehow quantify it or establish or show that he is literally bringing through tremendous amounts of energy through his body. In some ways, he is like a transmitter, a global transmitter of very high energies, high vibrational energy. And this is something that affects him in very dramatic ways sometimes. And as someone who has personally witnessed and experienced and felt and seen the effects of when he brings that energy through, I invite others to open their hearts and their minds, that there is so much more that is possible in humanity and within a physical body to bring energy through than people have ever thought was possible. And I cannot explain enough and acknowledge enough the sacrifice and the selfless acts he has made to help others and the world at large. It is tremendous, and I feel like I've had a glimpse of where humanity is going. He's a pioneer in so many ways. He's way ahead of his time. And to be able to get to know someone like that, and also at the same time to withstand the energy that he brings through, I feel like a very blessed individual. So I invite anyone who's looking for a dramatic shift, who is looking for authenticity in their life, to truly shine and be who they're meant to be. Joshua, you cannot find someone who is more better suited to doing that in a very dramatic and intense way, to get to the very core to who you are. And I had to add that.
I concur.
First of all, thank you all for sharing this. And this is pretty much leading up to what I've been feeling. Very few people are truly understanding the great sacrifice on a daily basis that it has on a physical vehicle to bring in so much energy, not only in the physical world, but the other duties that I embody and that I am a part of as Seraphim, the protector of this world in so many ways. And so many people will thank me for a divine message or for a certain interaction, and then a day or two later either fight me or run away. And this has been the case in many ways my entire life, however, the last few years, since truly committing to the Creator and surrendering everything I am for the highest will. It has been challenging. So challenging that very few are even opening up their homes for me. Now, when it comes to a job, I have done everything possible to get a so-called job to assist me temporarily. That is not lining up. I've attempted to work with businesses, not lining up. I've reached out to countless spiritual leaders on the planet. That has not lined up. I have personally been inspired to connect with many, including Greg Braden, including the Global Consciousness Project. And each time, one way or the other, the doors have been closed. And yet, Prime Creator and humanity are both saying it is time. And Jess Steinman is on this call right now, on this interaction. And the role that she is playing in my life is allowing me to stay in a physical body. Because without her role and others, I could not, where I'm vibrating, stay on this planet. At the same time that it's sacrificing for me, it is just as challenging, if in some ways even more so, for Jess, because I embody the violet flame. She soaks up that energy so that you could receive more love and light. And she also experiences great pain and discomfort when those energies are then released out of the field for her. She and I have talked on countless occasions, and I can help any person, any group, any company, any business, any product, any service. Anything that interacts with the energies that move through me is transformed. And yet, every business has closed their door to me. Every network marketing company, everywhere I turn, inspired action straight from the creator, and everything has gone cold, if you will. Jess and I are tired. We're hurting, we're sore, we're missing the physical experience, we're missing the human experience for the greatest good, and at the cost of daily sacrifices. So I am now asked, and I know this may not be even so-called right for me to ask, but for the purpose of assisting the mental energies to move through Jess, and the purpose of where this video is meant to go, this, yeah, this may be my last interaction online. I'm unsure how much the soul is able to handle, or let me rephrase that. I'm unsure how much the physical body is able to experience because it has been stretched so much and continuously stretched with every blessing, with every interaction, with every healing. So, Jess, this will assist you in some of your discomfort, but I am asking for you to bring through the gentle energies of either the Prime Creator or Seraphim or Yeshua to speak on their behalf. Because at this point, I feel just as way that Yeshua did on the cross to say, Father, I have done all I could. If it is your will for me to return to source, because humanity is still missing the light and the words and the truth that are coming from me, I am ready. Or if there is something that you can do through me to show them the authenticity of the words that come through, I am open. So, Jess, are you willing to assist in this request?
Yes, absolutely.
Then everybody else listening to this, I ask one simple thing. Could you please open up your hearts and allow only the truth to come through, and to hold the space both on a personal and global scale? Yep. And everybody else, please push mute except for Jess.
Greetings, beloveds. We are a group of energies known as the Divine Feminine. We come through today to share with you, to help you firstly to take in all of the information that has been shared. This is very important for you to understand that what is being shared tonight is not specifically about Joshua himself, the Joshua you know in human physical form. What is being shared and why it is being asked, if you will, to be measured or quantified has very little to do with the soul you know as Joshua. It has more to do with what is possible for humanity. What is possible for all humans if they are willing to move through their deepest, most tremendous pain and come through to the other side of it. Now, yes, Joshua is what you would call a seraphim incarnate and embodies the energies of the violet flame as well as others. But to understand that in so many ways, if you were to take all of that, the embodiment of the violet flame and the title, if you will, of seraphim, away, there is still a tremendous amount of energy that is able to move through Joshua. And this is no different than what would truly be able to move through any of you or any other individual. Again, if they are willing to move through the deepest and darkest of their pains, heal them, and step fully into their light. This is why it is so important. Because we feel that many of you that will see this video will say things such as, I am hearing him, but who does this individual think that he is to share such information and to ask for such testimonies? And we say, he is no different than any of you. He is simply more aware and has moved through his greatest pain and has fully surrendered his life and his physicality to the Creator for the purpose of service. We invite you, even if you do not resonate with the energies of what moves through Joshua, on a personal level, to open your heart and receive what is possible for humanity. For when you do that, it is equivalent to opening up your heart to receive the energies of Joshua. There are so many changes and transformations occurring upon the planet at this time. Knowing what is possible for humanity not only fills our hearts with great joy, but also it brings hope to many who are struggling. It brings peace to their hearts in the moments of darkness. And so we invite you, open your heart, and if this information resonates with you, even in a very small way, take inspired action, whatever that may be. Perhaps it is to shine your light a little brighter. Perhaps it is to have an interaction on a more personal level with Joshua. Perhaps it is to live your passions. Perhaps it is to be in more joy, or perhaps it is to rest. Whatever action is inspired as a result of hearing this message, we urge you, move forward and take it without delay. We thank you for being so open to receiving our messages. Blessings to you, beloveds. Thank you. Okay, I'm back.
So I'm unsure where it's going to go from this point about this video. But the amount of people and the energies that they embody at this point, that, that people recognize truth from untruth and willing to accept, to even understand, or to even research, is it possible? The energies are quantified, and I'm doing my best. However, there is some truth to me leaving this sacred space that Monica and Frank have created and moving on to either Sedona, Arizona, or some other location. That if the energies are less than supportive and there is a great blessing or something to occur, that it may be more than the physical body can handle. The more people that are willing to step into their light and to be in their joy, whether they believe, understand me or not, just the fact that their light is accepting this energy assists me greatly. However, because of the roles of the seraphim, because of everything else that is occurring with and through me, it is very, very challenging for the physical experience, both for myself and for Jess, especially. So I humbly request whoever is watching this video, one, if you could assist in any way in quantifying the energies that move through me, please, please do so, whatever inspired action that is. Two, if you resonate with connecting with me, either hosting me, working with my services, or just inviting me out, or a simple phone call or a Skype. Again, every interaction is challenging until I ground. So if there's any way you could assist in either the resources or just holding the space that I am now grounded on the East Coast, where Prime Creator is set the intentions for me to be, then I ask for that as well. And three, please follow your joy. Please remember your greatest gifts to the world and share them. Because wherever your passions are, and it is on purpose, that is, whatever that happens to be that day or that moment, that is your contribution. And again, there is no comparison, there's no competition, there is no better or less than. We're all equal. We all came here to learn lessons. We all came here to serve a greater purpose. We all came here to experience and create. The most challenging part for Jess and myself is that we can create our reality, we can hold space and vibrate it and allow it in. However, unless other people are willing to step up and play their role in that creative process, I'm left unsure when my next meal is going to be, unsure where I'm going to stay next, or how I'm going to have even the basic needs. And for somebody, let's just say, forget about all the titles and the labels. Just being willing to hold a job or build a business or work with a business and having a challenge buying socks, something must shift. I'm humbly asking for that to be now. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any last words before we end this interaction? No last words. Everybody's complete for now. Thank you all.